I always suffered from migraine headaches, and I'm not really sure what triggered them. I had been in a car accident where my car flipped over in 2001, and after that I started getting very bad headaches where I was at work at the time, on TV actually, and between what we call takes, I'd actually have to turn and throw up in the trash can next to myself, and then hurry up, look TV ready, smile and go, and then get sick again. And that happened for about a week, and I went to my doctor, who didn't even want to do x-rays or MRIs at the time. And I said, there's something wrong. When I stand up, I don't normally continuously get sick. And after they ran some evaluations, they told me that I had a herniated disc, a slip disc, and a bulged nerve between my neck and, I would say, what I know is my thoracic spine. They were two different pains. One, I think, was a symptom of probably the herniated disc. And what it would do is it was like a stiffness in the neck and shoulders that wouldn't go away. There was a pain that I felt that would travel down my arms and into my fingers and into my thumb. And that would bother me when I went to grip things. It always felt a little bit like an itch that you couldn't quite scratch or make go away. And then sometimes it was a pain that you'd try to rub and the pain never dissipated. It would affect me when I was trying to do computer work and I'd be typing. Headaches triggered by the fact I'm looking at a screen all day. You know, if you're reading documents for what we do on air and your head's tilted, that extension of the neck is what would trigger the migraines and the soreness. I wasn't sleeping at night, and it gradually got worse to where if I got 3-4 hours of sleep a night, which doesn't necessarily make you the nicest person to deal with, and your mental clarity isn't there, because when you feel that pressure, you're not thinking clear, because you're thinking, God, I wish this headache would go away, or oh, not again, or I wish I would have gotten a better quality of sleep before I had to tackle my day. I had no idea that my migraines could stem from a spine problem. If someone would have told me that, I wouldn't have believed them. And it was only through working here at the Bonati Spine Institute and actually hosting American Medicine Today and hearing Dr. Bonati talk to these patients where he said, oh, your spine pain could be causing those headaches. And when Dr. Bonati had mentioned it to me, I didn't know what to think. And I thought, how could I have suffered with spine pain and not made the correlation, or why did no other doctors in that 14-year span ever point that out as a possibility? All they said is, keep taking more pills, keep taking more pills.
It's a sensory branch that goes to the meninges, and that is the cover of the spinal cord. Now, when you touch that area, the patients develop a headache. And then if that meningeal branch is being twisted or is being affected, usually the patients have large amount of headaches. It's amazing to see that when you correct that bulge and you correct that deformity and you free that nerve a little bit, those headaches go away.
From the time that Dr. Bonati had mentioned that it was a spine problem causing the headaches, he sent me for an MRI. So I spent a little while at our MRI center that's on site at the Bonati Spine Institute. And when he reviewed the scans, he pointed out the problems and he said, yep, there's your pain. And it turned out that bone was actually crimped in the nerve. It's actually on both sides of my spine, crimped in the nerves. Well, we tackled the left side, and during the surgery, I felt the pain go away. Well, we're here in the pre-op area. I'm about ready to have surgery on my neck and a few minutes out from getting the IV. We'll see how I hold up in surgery in just a few minutes.
Yes. Remember to hold still.
I I love the conscious IV sedation, to know that I wasn't going to be put under general anesthesia, to know I would have that communication between Dr. Benatti and the other doctors that were in the room and the anesthesiologist, and the fact I could watch my own surgery. I know I've said it to you on radio and I'll say it here, it was the most amazing thing. Nobody thinks of spine surgery as awesome and cool, but when you're in it and you realize that, wow, I'm watching myself on a screen below the operating table, and right where he's making those movements, that's my spine. It almost separates you from the moment. So you're not really scared, you're fascinated. And when they touch the nerves, it's not excruciating pain. Because of the conscious IV sedation, you're slightly sedated, but you're awake, aware, you're communicating. And when they touch the nerve, it's just to more or less be able to pinpoint that root cause of your pain. He'd say, now try to recreate your pain. I think I had it. And he thought he did. And all of a sudden, that's when they found the bone hooked in the nerve.
Here?
No,
Here?
further to that.
Here?
Yes.
After surgery.
Okay.
Because I kept saying, no, still, if I go like this, I can still feel it. And all of a sudden, pain's gone.
Well, I was awake, aware, alert, and interacting, and it was the most fascinating thing.
Recovery for me was almost immediate. As soon as they brought me out to the recovery room, I was up and walking in a matter of minutes. I was moving all around. Just finished surgery, everything was great. 30 to 40 minutes, no pain. Conscious IV sedation, the most amazing thing. I watched the procedure, was in constant communication with Dr. Benatti and the rest of his crew. Everything is fine. I can turn my neck, left, right, no pain, no headaches. Previous to the surgery at Benatti, when I would try to lift my daughter, I would do it. I'd push through it and I'd lift her and I'd lift heavy things. But I was in pain. And sometimes when a kid runs around and they give you a great big hug and they pull you in, and you do it because it's the love of your life doing that, but it causes you pain. And it was like any pressure or pain, even something like a hat or sunglasses at the time, after a while it was just the weight of those things that made you realize you were suffering a little more than you first thought. After the surgery at Benatti, when I would lift her or I would wear those items or do strenuous lifting, I didn't feel the strain in my neck any longer, and it was great. Doing what I do is such a joy because I talk with all the patients, so I hear the problems that were plaguing them and how debilitating the pain was, and I understand it. I had always suffered with different things, but now being through the procedure myself, you feel that kinship with the other patients because you know exactly what they're talking about. When they say how amazing the procedures were, how great they're feeling, or how they felt the pain literally lift away on the operating table, I know exactly what that feeling is like, and it is a miracle.